Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm working in another ECM, this time in a 2008 F-150, Ford F-150. This is coming from Anchorage, Alaska. Phillip Sanders, this is your computer. They sent this computer a while ago. I was actually in Costa Rica for our family matter, and well, I'm gonna disperse it. My father just passed away, and it's been a little hard for me, and I'm trying to get back into tests and everything. Well, going back into the tests, Phillips, I have your computer connected. So they send this computer due to shop there. I told them that is shorted. They have a problem with the camshaft position sensor signal 2, and they said that they got a shorted to power, or not a shorted to power, like even with the sensor disconnected, it's reading 12 volts. Philip, I'm not getting that in here. I'm showing right now, I made a harness specific for this computer, and I always try to take the time to make it good so I can perform the test properly. This is about to die battery wise, but I want to show you that we have the 5-volt reference in there. Yes, it's completely dead in battery, but I hope that you saw that in there. I do have communication. As you can see, this is your bin number, F816454. I can even reconnect again if it's necessary. I'm trying to make this video as quick as possible. I'm going to show you that we do have communication. I'm going to change the battery voltage so we can see the battery voltage at least, because I got nothing else connected, just a 5-volt reference, and to make sure that we have communication. So let me get into battery voltage. So it's here. Let's see if we have any camshaft position sensor status, camshaft position, and well, will be obviously a fault because now I don't have the crank or anything connected. Only I have is the signal for that crankshaft position sensor. Sorry, camshaft position sensor. Let me actually go over to Identifix, which I have ready to go here, and we will be able to see that. Well, I have to see where that one is. So let me go actually over to the wire diagrams in color, which will be the easiest way for me to find it. I'm actually right now in the computer. I'm going to select all the diagrams and make this a little bigger. I don't need this in there. And I can go into the actual camshaft position sensor 2, which is, and I will show you that in a second, where they say the fault is. All right, so following the two wires, we got one wire going into pin 44 and connector 175E, and that is pin 44. Connector E, connector B, and connector T. B is the one I have all the powers and grounds and CAN bus and 5-volt reference. So I got pin 44 in there. I will show you that also with a light in a second. And then the ground for the sensor, this is AC AC sine wave signal. So the sensor produces the signal and sends it over to the computer. And then pin 5. All right, so I'm going to get a light in here so you can see. Let me see where I put the light, because I just had it on my head and it looked like I didn't put it in the proper spot. Oh, no. Oh, right here. All right, so yeah, so you can see that green wire is in the fifth connect and the fifth pin. And if you see the blue wire, hopefully you guys can see, is connected on pin 44. And I rechecked that 3 times. So I got the ignition on, and I have the multimeter leads connected to red wire to the 54, and the green, oh sorry, the black onto the sensor's ground, just to be the correct signal or the correct, I don't know, voltage, right? I'm a little tired. It's very late. I've been trying to catch up, and I'm staying late to do this. The computer was really dirty outside, and I cleaned it really good. That is for you guys and him to see that that is a very different module, And this is the way it looks inside, really nice and very clean. I don't see any burns or shorted or anything on this computer. Again, so let me click in here. So we got 13, no camshaft position sensor error. The car is not running. No CMP or CKP, camshaft and crankshaft synchronized because the engine is not running. And I'm not providing the signals, but there is no fault on the camshaft position sensor status. Why? Because they're not shorted. Car is not running, so there's no short on the harness. So I'm going to change the voltage in here, and that I just need to select in here. Okay, so I can go 1 volt at a time. I just up the voltage. So now we got 14.2, 14.3. I'm gonna go down in voltage, 1 volt, and another volt. So we went down to 12.25. I'm going back to 13. So the computer is communicating, not a problem at all. And I don't see any shorts. So um, where I'm getting this information about the short is he sent me the diagnostic report from the company. So I'm just going to leave it in here. I'm going to read it. Hopefully you guys can see. It says in here, labored client state cell, check engine light is on. Timing chain, tensioners, camshaft sprockets, and BBT solenoids were replaced. Verify the concern, found code for bank 2 camshaft position sensor. See documents, monitor crankshaft position sensor bank 1 and monitor crankshaft position sensor, bank 1 and 2 camshaft position sensor, found bank 2 camshaft sensor is 12 volts all the time with key on, engine off. Sensor is an inductive sensor in which it creates its own AC voltage with key on, engine running, or key on, engine cranking. There should be no voltage with key on, engine off. Unplug the sensor and voltage is still present. Unplug powertrain control module connector 175E. Voltage went away. Tested for short to ground and voltage. Okay, have concluded that PCM has an internal short. I will have to disagree. In this case, what I think they might have missed is if you unplug the 175E and you keep the 175B as I have in here, the computer is still powered up. So they should have done these same tests in here because what I'm suspecting is that when disconnected this, of course, it might go away because the short is in the harness and not in the computer. So something in between these wires and the connector 175E is shorted inside the harness, but not on the computer. And the proof is right here. So I have the computer completely powered up. This is the transmission connector, and this is the engine sensor. So the C75E, sorry, C175E, C175B, and C175T. So the T is the small one. You guys will probably see it better like this. So we have two connectors with 70 pins. The B is the center one, and this is a 50 pin connector, which is for the transmission. So we can unplug those two. All right, guys, sorry, I got caught by a phone call. All right, so I was saying you can even unplug those two connectors. The computer will still communicate with the car. So if you have a diagnostic scanner connected, you will still be able to talk as long as you keep this one on. The car obviously will not run, but you can communicate with the computer. So you can perform this test on the vehicle if you want to check for shorts. You cannot assume if you are connected to the sensor and you disconnect that connector and the voltage goes away, that the voltage is coming from the computer. Yes, it might go away because now you remove the wire that was providing the power on the harness that is getting shorted together because you unplugged that connector. So yes, the problem is in that side of the harness, obviously not in here. And I can show, or like I'm already showing here, that we have no 12 volts as they say. And I am exactly on the pins. I double check with everything. I have again mark what sensor 1 and sensor 2 is. So sensor 1 is on the right cylinder head, and sensor 2 is on the left cylinder head. Based on the faults that they have, again, 2, which I also have in here. Let me see if I have that still here. Connector invoice, yes. So, okay, now that's invoice, diagnostic report. So, looking at the diagnostic report that they sent, we have, let me just make sure I can scroll this up, and we can see FA16454. If we scroll down, we can see that they do have cylinder identification A circuit bank 2, P0345. And I went and checked in the connectors, everything is exactly as they describe in here, but there is no short on the computer. All right, guys, I hope that this makes sense. Phillips, I hope that you see how much I have taken the time to actually even make a harness for your computer. I clean the computer and I have checked every single circuit inside the computer and everything looks normal. So I'm going to try to edit this video and upload it and uh, get in touch with you to see if they actually can check the harness, because that could be probably possible to do. All you really need to do is going to the two same pins that we have here, right? They can even be connected to the sensor as they were doing, and then start touching all the pins on the harness on this connector. Let's say, if I remove this connector, I have another connector in here, so just give me 1 second so I can show you what I'm trying to say. So all they can do is come to the front of the connector and start touching all the pins until they find which auto wire that, or I don't know exactly which one is the one is shorted, but which one is, it shows continuity, because I guarantee you that's how they will find the problem. All right, so that's what they need to do. They can either do it from the back of the connector, which is a little harder to do. Piercing, I would not recommend to do, because you will have to pierce every single wire. So the best thing to do is remove the connector, as they already have, because you got no computer, and then just with a small needle, like kind of like the ones I have here. These are very small, so they fit perfectly into all of these pins, and then find the wire that is shorted with the camshaft position bank to sensor wiring. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Phillips, thank you so much for trusting in Mike Salazar Diagnostics and sending me your computer. I hope that you see that I take my time to give recommendations and to perform the test based on your concerns, and I have pretty much fulfilled that with this video. All right, guys, thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.